So what we have here today is we have the series 40th edition. Now the series 40th edition, we're going to run through just what we've done. But I'm going to just, off the bat, I'm going to just tell you beforehand what actually comes with this tent. So first of all, it comes with the quick release mechanism that just clamps onto load bars or can clamp onto a roof rack, as long as the slat width isn't more than 80 millimeters. It comes complete with the new ladder that the steps are slightly more rounded off for being able to walk up and down with bare feet, even though that in the old days we had to adhere to standards and the standards in order so that you didn't slip off the ladder. But this ladder comes with slightly more rounded steps, so it is easier to walk up and down. It now has zips on the canopies and the fly sheet, and it's got an integrated elastic system that helps it close up most probably 80%, but you'll see, I'll show you today, 80% or so it closes up. It also comes with this unique Firefly light, which is an amazing product. You can also buy it off us loose. So this has a magnetic strip on the back of it, and we've got a clip in the tent, and it basically changes colors. There we can see changes colors from white to yellow. And like I said, it's got a clip in the tent, and you basically clip it into the tent, and you can charge it with a USB port. It also comes now with standard. It comes with a shoe bag, and you'll see that the rod bag is connected to the tent. So it's not loose, it's actually connected to the tent. Now there's a lot of benefits to having a soft shell tent over a hard shell tent. First of all, it doesn't take up your complete roof rack. And then on the 40th edition, we got a manufactured in a 1.4, 1.6, and a 1.8. Now, because you can sleep to the edges of the tent, a 1.8 tent is actually a small family tent, and it's perfect for mom and dad and two small kids. So what we did in the early 80s, around about 86, we got a tent, and it wasn't conducive to African conditions. It had tiny little windows. It was just not conducive to African conditions. So what we did was we introduced the rods into the tents. We introduced the bigger windows. We introduced the sizes, all the sizes. We introduced the aluminium extrusions that run underneath the tents. We introduced the sliding aluminium ladders. And what people don't understand is that the whole thing with roof tents is it's live on the vehicle, so it's moving on the vehicle. So yes, you can go down to the nylon materials, and we could also save ourselves thousands in costs in making a nylon material tent and a lower I wouldn't say lower quality, but a lightweight tent. But the problem is that it actually is alive on the vehicle, and it moves on the vehicle the whole time. So those tents will not give you the lifespan of like an Eezi-Awn Series 3 or a Jazz tent for that matter, because these tents, we know for a fact, have been used and are still getting used. Tents that we've sold in the early 80s and the early 90s are still being used because we're seeing them out there. So those tents will definitely not last you 20 or so years. And the thing is with the tents is the mattress, the quality of the mattress and the quality of the material gives you the lifespan and also gives you the comfortable side of things. So the two things you don't want to rain wet, and you also don't want to sleep uncomfortably. And that's where the weight comes into a tent. So yes, you can make it as light as possible, but as soon as you go past that increment, if you want to say, then the curve starts to go down, and you don't get a tent that lasts the same amount of time and can withstand all these conditions and elements of high wind, gravel roads for thousands of kilometers, and cold and rain and so forth. So people have said Eezi-Awn stuff is antiquated, because what actually happens is we make up tents out of wood. But wood is the best insulator worldwide, and it's known. That's why the early settlers, and even today, people use wood in houses and stuff like that. You cannot get a composite board that gives you the same insulation as wood. And we've tried and we've tested a lot of this stuff. And what you realize is because the cold air blows in from underneath and you sleeping on top of your mattress, you get that condensation between the two. Whereas with wood, you get very little, if not no condensation in all conditions. Wood is your best insulator. It is. You can, people have tried over the years to make different composites of this and composites of that, but you cannot get away from wood. And we use the best quality wood, which is weatherproof, which the glue is the top-notch glues, which so you basically got a weatherboard. So, and the other thing is the board is never out in the elements. It's closed from the top. If your cover, you must make sure that your cover is always complete, and that's why we weld all our seams. And from the bottom, it's never exposed. And the thing is the tents, as we know, have lasted 20 to 30 years. Yes, maybe after 30 years or 20 years, you can give it a bit of a paint if you want to. But in general, you don't have to do an absolute thing to it. Okay, so we're just going to run through today on how the series 40th actually works. In order to open the roof tent, very simple. Open the ratchet strap. It's just a matter of opening the flaps, taking the ratchet, just clicking the lever on the right hand side, and if necessary the left one, and just pulling it towards you. Very simple. There we go. Just pull the corners a little bit. Lift the cover up. I just like to move it over. Walk around this side. And remove the cover. What I normally do then is I place the cover on the floor. Just fold the cover up. That is the best. So that in the morning, you've got it and it's out of the way. Now you can store this anywhere, or depending on what you've got. You obviously can put it under the wheel. I'm just going to put it in the back for today. In order to open the Series 40th edition, it's not very difficult. All we do is we undo the clips on the side. At the same time, I do the ladder clip, pull on the tab, go this side, do the same. Pull out on the ladder, push down on the ladder, and the tent will open. Now the ladder comes standard with adjustable foot peak. I then adjust the ladder back to the height. Required. Like I said, the 40th edition has the rounded steps, so you can climb up and down. It's easy to climb up and down without shoes on. It comes with the rod bag that is attached, so you can't lose the rod bag or the rods. It has the built-in shoe bag, and it has all this uniqueness of helping it close. So in order to open the canopies, it's pretty simple. All we do is open the rod bag. Just remove 2 rods, or I like to remove 2 rods. If you want, you can remove all of them at the time. Just undo the clip. Slide the one slider up on the one side, and the other one on the other side. Slot the rod in with the sleeve at the bottom. And there we go. So the tent has elastics in the inside that just need to be removed before climbing in. And these elastics just help it in closing. So when you get out the tent, you just need to bring those elastics back together. It has pockets on the inside that you can put a book. And as you see here, it's very, very nice and spacious. Now the tents come with a very high quality gauze mesh. And the reason why we use this is because it's the strongest. And what we found is those little square mesh there's a black cricket in South Africa and Africa that eats it. Now this gauze is specially formulated for us. Now if you have a look at the squares, they do look big, but the difference is with our gauze is there's a fine thread that runs through the middle of the square, and that prevents any sort of small bugs or insects like the no-see-ums up in Alaska getting through. So on all the doors and windows on the 40th, they zip completely closed with 10 CF zips, very high quality zips. But the nice part about this is we also run privacy panels. So the privacy panel, the way it's designed is you can run it halfway up should you want some privacy in the morning and still get air, and then you can obviously close it completely should you wish to. So we supply the tent with a little bracket like this, which you can clip onto any of the bows. And it's pretty nice because you can put it wherever you want. And then the little firefly light, it's got a magnetic strip on the back of it. And it basically just clips into position. And then it gives you the white light or the yellow light. Or if you just touch it again, we switch it off. The Series 3 40th edition comes with a very nice 65mm foam and chip, which is a 30 density foam, or 300 density as some people like to refer to, and then a chip foam. So as you can see here, the quality is unbelievable. And in order to close the 40th edition, I lift the tent up, I bring it round, and you'll see it almost folds in on itself. I just lift it slightly up. There we go. Close it this side. Walk around. Close it that side. It's just a matter of unclipping the ladder. And you can do so from the ground, or you can just hop up here and do so from the top here. There we go. Just pull the corners a little bit. So then what we do is to close it, we just push the two clips together on that side and this side. Just take the strap, pull the lever on the ratchet again, just feed the strap through the ratchet, place some tension on that side, closing the snap. Ready for your next adventure. We hope you've enjoyed this video on the new Series 40th edition to celebrate our 40 years. Happy camping from the Eezi-Awn team.